gentlemen, you are welcome to the 15th annual Registry lecture of this great university, titled Quality or Quantity, Rethinking Higher Education Administration in 21st Century. The very first female Vice Chancellor of this institution, our role model, Professor FAS. We also have our host, our own registrar, Mr. Charles FNIN, FIP, LLD. Of course, we have in our list our other principal officers here. We have the list.
On Thursday, 16th July 2026. In this auditorium of African Auditorium, Federal University of Technology, Abuja. The Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion, Professor FAS, Deputy Vice Chancellor, the bursar of the university librarian, top government functionaries here present, our distinguished guest lecturer, Professor Eghagha, your Royal Highness here present, distinguished awardees, of today, in particular, I want to recognize the presence of Pastor Damiel Oshin, Proprietors, Women's Days, and Empire College, Eghagha. And I also want to recognize Mr. Bangla Desmond, aka Shamania Board Hotel, being represented here. Thank you very much. I also recognize our own, the former Registrar University of Benin, Mr. Eghagha. Also, our own, the former Registrar of the State University, Mr. already assisted. Vice Chancellors of other university and former Vice Chancellor here present, I want to most sincerely recognize our living legend, the former Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor Mojib Balogun. I also recognize the presence of our former acting Vice Chancellor, the living legend too, and the former rector of Polytechnic Village, Professor Fasha. I recognize the presence of also our living legend, Professor Emeritus Lassen. That you are welcome, sir. I also recognize the presence of one of our fathers in the registry, former acting registrar of the Federal University of Technology, Mr. A.W. Anthony. I especially recognize my mentor, the former registrar of Obafemi University, Mr. Ayorinde Olumide Ogun. Provost, deans, and directors, other officers of the university, let me recognize the presence of my wife here present, Mrs. Comfort Eghagha. You are welcome. The chair and members of the Registry Annual Lecture Organizing Committee, distinguished members of FUTA Registry, fellow professional university administrators, we have a great number here today. You'll be recognized at the appropriate time. Thank you very much for coming. I want to recognize all the registrars that I've seen seated in the front. The registrar of St. Mary's, our home, St. Mary's University, Mr. J.S. Dalamola, you are welcome, sir. I recognize the presence of my sister, Mrs. Fakulede, Registrar at the University of Education. You are welcome. We also recognize our own, the Registrar of New City, Mr. Olusegun Akiyemi. You are welcome. I recognize, that's my brother, friend there. I recognize the presence of Mr. Oluwole Dada, the registrar, Federal University of Technology in Eghagha. You are welcome. And all the contingents of this sister university, you are welcome. Members of staff and students of the university, distinguished guests and friends of the university, great futarians, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound joy and a deep sense of privilege that I welcome you all to the 15th edition of Registry Annual Lecture of the Federal University of Technology at FUTA. The 15th Registry Annual Lecture started on Monday, 13th July 2026 with in-house trainings for all categories of registry staff. The in-house training started, as I've said, on Monday, 13th July 2026 with confidential secretaries, secretarial assistants, computer operators, and data officers. Our resource person for Monday was Mr. Oluwole, the immediate past registrar at Eghagha State University at Registry. Thank you very much, sir. On Tuesday, 14th July 2026, we had executive officers, clerical officers, clerical assistants, porters, and our lecturer was a colleague, a director in the registry, and admin secretary of the CCB. I'm talking of no other person than Barrister Titus Obanewa. Thank you very much. On Wednesday, 15th July 2026, it was the turn of administrative officers, legal officers, communication and protocol officers, development officers, advancement officers, and guidance and counseling. Our lecturer was Mr. Ademola Abimbola Bola, the immediate past registrar of the University of University, and Barrister Omofolani, the Director of Legal Services. I express my unfathomable debt of gratitude to all our resource persons. Thank you very much indeed. Today's gathering marks another significant milestone in the history of the FUTA Registry, an arm of the university that has consistently distinguished itself as a beacon of excellence in tertiary education administration in Nigeria. Permit me to express my personal delight in presiding over this event for the third consecutive time since I assumed office as the sixth substantive registrar of our great university in June 2023. It is therefore both a privilege and a source of fulfillment for me to witness the sustained growth and increasing impact of the Registry annual lecture series. Over the years, this platform has provided opportunities for robust intellectual engagement and professional discourse on issues that are critical to the advancement of university administration and higher education in Nigeria. At the very outset, I wish to express my deepest appreciation to my amiable, indefatigable, and visionary Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Oladi, FAS, whose extraordinary support, I repeat, extraordinary support, encouragement, and unwavering commitment have continued to energize the Registry and sustain this good tradition. Ma'am, your leadership has been instrumental in ensuring that the Registry remains vibrant, innovative, and impactful. We sincerely appreciate your kind support, ma'am. Distinguished guests, the Registry annual lecture began in 2009 under the leadership of the late Dr. Mrs. Unite Funke-Oyebade MNI, has grown into a flagship intellectual event within and beyond FUTA. It is noteworthy that this initiative has inspired similar lectures and has been sustained consistently over the years. Permit me of the FUTA Registry, whose foresight, dedication, and pioneering spirit laid a solid foundation upon which we stand today. Their legacy has truly inspired us as we uphold the highest standards of professionalism and service. The enduring success of this lecture series is evident over the years. Previous editions have featured a rich diversity of speakers, including renowned professionals, eminent scholars, accomplished administrators, captains of the industry, respected legal icons, media gurus, and IT experts. Their contribution have continued to enrich discourse and strengthen institutional learning. At the last edition of this lecture series, we were honored to host Professor Haishi Folorunsho Adewale, FAS, a distinguished academic former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, and former Honorable Minister of Health of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He delivered a highly insightful and engaging lecture that enriched our understanding of contemporary issues in higher education and public service administration. His contribution further reinforced the reputation of this lecture series as a platform for thought leadership, policy reflection, and intellectual depth. Today, we are proud to add another remarkable chapter to this rich tradition of excellence and knowledge sharing. The topic for this year's lecture, quality or quantity, rethinking higher education administration in the 21st century Nigeria, is both timely and highly relevant to ongoing national discourse on the future of higher education administration. It speaks directly to the urgent need for balanced approach that ensures excellence, efficiency, and sustainability within our university system. We are deeply honored to welcome our distinguished guest lecturer of today, Professor Eghagha, a renowned scholar of English literature and literary analysis, and former commissioner for higher education in Delta State. His rich academic background, administrative experience, and public service record uniquely position him to interrogate this topic with depth, clarity, and practical insights. We are confident that this lecture will provoke meaningful reflections and contribute significantly to ongoing conversations on the future of higher education administration in Nigeria. Sir, we are delighted to have you share your wealth of knowledge and experience with us today. Thank you very much for coming. Beyond providing a platform for intellectual discourse, the Registrar lecture has over the years served as an avenue for recognizing and celebrating distinguished Nigerians whose outstanding contributions have significantly advanced the cause of education and national development. Through the conferment of special awards, the Registry has honored exemplary individuals whose leadership, scholarship, philanthropy, and commitment to educational advancement have left an enduring footprint on the nation's development trajectory. It is gratifying that the awards have become highly regarded symbols of excellence, attracting an impressive gathering of notable personalities whose achievements will continue to inspire present and future generations. In keeping with this established tradition, the Registry is delighted to present an appreciation award for support to the FUTA Registry to Professor Francis Eghagha, the Vice Chancellor, Mampasi University, Secretary State, in recognition of his remarkable support and commitment to the professional growth of staff of the Registry through the provision of opportunity for sabbatical appointments. This thoughtful gesture has not only broadened the exposure and experience of Registry staff, but also contributed significantly to capacity building, knowledge exchange, and strengthening of administrative competence within the Registry. We offer our profound gratitude for this invaluable support. We are also pleased to confer the exemplary entrepreneur and exemplary entrepreneur award on the serving and following the serving individual recognition of the outstanding contributions to contribution to Nigerian hospitality industry, educational advancement, and national progress. They are Dr. Mrs. Daniela Oshi, founder and proprietor of Promise Days International Nursery and Primary School and Heritage College Akure. Honorable Alpha Timitope Akitunde, Managing Director, Everything Goals Limited, Eghagha, Lagos. And Mr. Bankole Desmond, A.K., Executive Chairman of the Airport Hotels and Towers. Through their remarkable achievements in entrepreneurship and education, they have not only created opportunities for growth and development, but have also served as shining example for purposeful leadership, economic development, and service to humanity. In celebrating excellence and institutional impact, the Registry will also confer today the award of the Beacon of Excellence in University Administration on a seasoned administrator and former registrar of our great university, Professor Eghagha, the fourth substantive registrar of this recognition is a tribute to years of dedicated service, exemplary leadership, and invaluable contribution to the development of university administration within FUTA and beyond. The university is equally delighted. The university registry is equally delighted by the working ambassador of FUTA Registry on the following staff of the registry in recognition of their distinguished service and enduring contributions to the advancement of university administration in Nigeria. Besides the very leading past registrar in the State University in the States, being good ambassador of FUTA when he served as the registrar of the State University. Also, our own Mr. Ademola Obola, immediately past registrar of the city of Edo State. This honor celebrates their remarkable professional accomplishment as served-out registrar in their respective institutions and the respect with which they have represented the ideals of FUTA Registry in the wider university system. They have not only brought honor to themselves and their respective institutions, but have also served as worthy ambassadors for the values and professional standards for which the FUTA Registry is known. Their recognition today is therefore a tribute to a legacy of hard work, institutional reality, and impactful service in higher education administration. Among states that the awardees of today emerge through a deliberate consideration of their services, integrity, and contribution to national development. Their emergence is therefore not by chance, but a reflection of merit, excellence, and high standard associated with this prestigious recognition. On behalf of the entire Ministry of the Federal Institute of Technology I warmly congratulate and rejoice with these distinguished awardees and celebrate their well-deserved recognition. We are proud to identify their accomplishments and we thank you for accepting this honor. We wish you continued success and greater accomplishment in all your endeavors. Let me as a introduction warmly welcome our respected dear fathers, distinguished guests from far and near, professional colleagues, and members of the university community. Your presence has color and prestige to the 15th edition of the Registry Annual. We are deeply honored to have you with us. Especially acknowledge and appreciate members of staff of the FUTA Registry for their commitment, loyalty, and steadfast support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much. And steadfast support in sustaining this noble tradition of intellectual engagement and institutional celebration. I equally commend the chair, Registry Annual Lecture, Organizing Committee, my brother, Mr. Isaac Adefakula, and members of the committee for their dedication and meticulous planning toward the successful hosting of this event. Your sacrifice and sense of duty have been instrumental to bringing this year's lecture to fruition. For this, I remain profoundly grateful. Profoundly grateful. As I draw this address to a close, I wish to earnestly appeal for support from all stakeholders for sustaining and strengthening the operation of the registry. It is important to bring to the attention of this Eghagha gathering that sustaining the operation of the FUTA registry and by extension successfully organizing this annual lecture requires immense institutional and personal sacrifice. The efforts involved in keeping the administrative machinery running efficiently and ensuring the continuity of this event has been very good. Against this background, we respectfully appeal for the kind support of public spirited individuals, friends of the university, and well-meaning corporate organizations to further strengthen the registry. Such assistance will enable us to remain dynamic, innovative, and responsive to the ever-evolving demand of university administration. We are confident that your partnership in this regard will significantly enhance our capacity for effective service delivery. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this 15th edition, we reaffirm our commitment to maintaining the rich, proud tradition of leadership within the Nigerian university system, contributing to national development and promote administrative excellence. As I conclude, I once again most respectfully through my sermons to the chief host of this Registry Annual Lecture, our maybe Vice Chancellor. I also once again welcome all the university, welcome the university management and all others this auspicious occasion. And thank you for honoring us with your highly ennobling and exalting presence. Let me, at introduction, welcome the Vice Chancellor of Mapasi University, Professor Francis Eghagha. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir. I encourage you all to actively participate and derive maximum benefit from today's lecture. I wish you all a rewarding and intellectually stimulating experience. Thank you and God bless you.
Shall we sustain the applause for our registry? Once again, let me quickly recognize and welcome the Vice Chancellor, Mafesin University, Professor Francis Eghagha and wife. You are welcome, sir and ma'am. We have in our midst former acting librarian FUTA, Mrs. Zainab Falaye. You are welcome, ma'am. I would also like to recognize and welcome Honorable Armstrong Temitope Akintunde, the Managing Director, Aerofield Homes Limited, represented by Olaleye Babatunde Olaoluwa, Head of Projects and Development. We have in our midst the wife of our registrar, Mrs. Olufunke Adeleye. You are welcome. I also like to recognize and welcome DCC Olubenga Oladele, representing the sector commander Ondo State FRSC. You are welcome, sir. That's Dr. Samuel Victoria. You are welcome. We have Mr. Feli Adetula. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst our staff of Mommy's Place and Henry Place College. You are welcome. We also have members of the University of Ibadan Alumni Association. You are welcome. We have in our midst members of the registry from the following universities. Please, if I mention the university, just stand up for recognition. Bamidele Olumilua University. You are welcome. Stella Maris University. You are welcome. Ekiti State University. You are welcome. Federal University of Technology and Environmental Sciences, Eghagha. You are welcome. New City University. You are welcome. Macpherson University. And of course, the registrar of that university is then represented by Mr. Tokubo Olabule, Director of Information and Public Relations. You are welcome. And of course, the best, let me recognize once again, the former registrar, pioneer registrar, Federal Polytechnic in Leoluji, Mr. Feli Adetula. You are welcome, sir. And of course, let me especially recognize the staff of the best registry in Nigerian universities. That's the staff of the registry of the Federal University of Technology. I would please stand up for recognition. And you please give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this juncture to invite to the podium the chairman, chief host, and of course the #1 citizen of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I'm speaking about no one else but our Vice Chancellor, the first female Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor.
Eghagha, my Lord spiritual and temporal, top government functionaries, registrars of sister university. I particularly recognize the registrar of Adeyemi University of Education, Ondo, the registrar, Federal University of Technology and Environmental Sciences, Eghagha, registrar, New City University, and registrar, St. Mary's University, Supari, Akoko, provost, deans, directors, and heads of departments, esteemed members of staff and students, distinguished awardees, and when I say distinguished, I mean distinguished. I want to specially recognize the proprietor of Mommy's Place and Place College, Dr. Damilola Osh. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize him from afar. Otherwise, when I came down, I would have been treated to visit you. Other attorneys present or represented. Let me now recognize my own registrar, Mr. Charles Adeleye. He's a special registrar, and that's why I'm bringing him at this time. And members of the Registry of FUTA, thank you very much for doing what you have been to our university. I also specially recognize all the deputy registrars here present, especially the deputy registrar, first deputy registrar Home Affairs, and that is Mrs. Olufunke Adeleye, the wife of our registrar. And deputy registrar, the vice chancellor's office, that is my own boss. I recognize Mr. Eghagha, who also is the chairman of the lecture organizing committee. Like I said, today is our day of recognition. We have our special people in our midst. They are our special people, our pride. And I'm not surprised that they are going to be honored here today. The former registrar of the University of Benin, Mr. Obola, and the former registrar of the State University, Mr. Oluwole. I don't want to say Oluwole because I didn't call the first name of Mr. Obola, so I remove the event from your picture. Distinguished participants from sister universities, please pardon me if I missed out anybody, but I believe for you to be here today, you are very important. And we are here today because we know that you are coming. Thank you all for joining us this morning. And I recognize also FUTA alumni. I'm sure that our representative is here. It is with much delight and gratitude to the Most High God, the giver and preserver of life, that I welcome everyone to the 15th Registry Annual Lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Abuja. And we say we welcome you to the best University of Technology in Nigeria. I hope no one is jealous because data don't fly. When we say we are the best, we are the best. Academic institutions all over the world are centers of debates and intellectual discourses, which will take the form of seminars, workshops, conferences, symposiums, or colloquia. All these activities shape the minds of scholars and other stakeholders and help to fix the gaze of the institutions on their mandates. Distinguished participants, I'm happy to let you know that FUTA has become a destination for such academic discourse. As, for example, today, I can tell there are 4 events going on simultaneously. As we are here, we are also hosting the Brain Microbiology Conference. We are hosting a research seminar organized by the Central Research Laboratories. We are hosting the first conference and annual lecture also of the School of Computing. Everybody is coming to FUTA. It looks to me like all roads leads to FUTA. I am much delighted with the consistency with which the Registry of the Federal University of Technology has been pursuing this course, which has become a fixture on the Nigerian tertiary education institutions landscape. Without any intention to flatter, I can only say that FUTA is blessed with some of the best university administrators in Nigeria. Many of the university administrators in the university are eminently qualified to serve in other a few days ago, just last week, we were at Eghagha University, where the new vice chancellor was inaugurated. And I was happy to tell the audience that during my stay in FUTA as vice chancellor, we have produced 4 other vice chancellors. FUTA has produced vice chancellor for Redeemers University. We produced vice chancellor for Fortune University. We produced vice chancellor for Eghagha University. We produced vice chancellor for Eghagha University and as we are producing the vice chancellors, we are also producing the registrars. We have produced registrar for New City University. We produced registrar for St. Mary's University. And we are also producing masters. We have produced master for Eghagha, College of Education, Eghagha. And we are producing directors of physical planning, directors of works. What it means to us is that we are a place to focus attention on. So I invite colleagues from other universities, if you peradventure would like to be a VC, a registrar person, please join us and let us teach you acts. In just noting that several academics in the university were once university administrators. In this university, we have many people who started their career as administrators and subsequently decided also to change or to switch over to become academic. We also have some who started their career as technologists and decided to switch over. Just yesterday, 2 days ago, we had a doctoral lecture delivered by a former registrar of this university who had turned to academics and is now a professor, the person of Professor Mrs. Eghagha. I call her my sister, I call her my friend. She is also one of the awardees of today. Most prominently, like I said, a registrar of this university is now a professor. And she's not only a professor, she's also the director of our center, of our Senior Citizens Center. And while we are appointing her as directors of the Senior Citizens Center, one of the things that informed the appointment was the fact that we were looking for somebody who can conveniently interact with both the teaching and the non-teaching staff. And she stands in that position, eminently qualified, as a former registrar, being part of the non-teaching, and now an academic part of the teaching staff. With the quality of staff in FUTA Registry, therefore, I am not surprised by the consistency with which they have been organizing the annual lectures. This is my 4th year in the saddle as the Vice Chancellor, and I'm presiding over the 4th Registry annual lecture under my Vice Chancellorship. From the 12th, 13th, 14th, and today the 15th lecture. As usual, a stimulating topic is on the plate, titled Quality or Quantity, Rethinking Higher Education Administration in the 21st Century Nigeria. I wish to commend the leader of the registrar, Mr. Charles Olusegun Adeleye, for keeping the flag of registry annual lecture flying. A day like this reminds of the labor of the past years, particularly the leader who pioneered the noble idea, the late Dr. Mrs. Eunice Eghagha, and her successors who kept the flame alive. It is noteworthy that this event, which was first held in 2009 in FUTA, and the first time among Nigerian universities, has been held without fail every year ever since, except in the year 2020, when the COVID COVID-19 pandemic forced a global lockdown. Just recently, I'm aware that the University of Eghagha held their Registry lecture. And when they were looking for lecturer, they searched everywhere. They found the lecturer here in FUTA, in person of the first administrative officer of FUTA, our own Mr. Ayo Ogoro, honoris causa, the former registrar of Prof. University. You didn't tell me you were going there, sir. But you know you always connect with me. I found that. The passion with which each registrar has ensured the success of the event is highly commended. It is without doubt a praiseworthy contribution of the registry to the development of the university system. Today's lecture will be delivered by eminent scholar and public administrator, Professor Prof. Eghagha, is the former Commissioner for Higher Education, Delta State, and Professor of English Literature and Literary Analysis, University of Lagos. Earlier this morning, when Professor came on a personal visit to my office, we realized that Professor taught some of our registry staff in person of Mrs. Awofade. Mrs. Awofade, where are you? She's okay, yes, she's at the back. And beside he also taught Mr. Eghagha, our chief PRO. And what that tells me is that, confirms to me, is that it's what I've always believed, that the Nigerian university system is just one system. Professor Eghagha's journey in the academia and experience in private service, especially as former Commissioner for Higher Education, eminently qualified him to be in the driver's seat at today's event. The registry has undoubtedly found and brought a round peg for a round hole. Earlier this morning, I also described him as a big fish, a golden fish, and a pricey fish. Thank you, sir, for coming. On behalf of the Governing Council, the Senate, management, staff, and students of FUTA, I thank you most profoundly for honoring our invitation. It is a service to humanity. FUTA's aspiration is to be a world-class university of technology and a center of excellence in training, research, and service delivery. In our quest to be among the best, we interrogate issues and deliberate robustly on how best to improve not just our university, but the entire education ecosystem. Hence the discourse of today, quality or quantity. We are rethinking higher education administration in the 21st century. On this auspicious occasion, the registry will also be conferring awards on personalities who have distinguished themselves through their services to humanity in their respective fields. 7 distinguished Nigerians will be honored today. We have Honorable Tayo Akintunde, who will receive the Exemplary Entrepreneur Award, Mr. Makwane Desmond Ike, Exemplary Entrepreneur Award, Pastor Damilola Oshin, that is Mommy's place, Exemplary Entrepreneur Award, Professor Francis Eghagha as Appreciation Award for support for FUTA Registry. Prof actually did not forget this. Thank you for always putting us in mind. Professor Mrs. Mutukwe Eghagha, Veteran of Excellence in University Administration Award, Mr. Ademola Abimbola Bobola, the Worthy Ambassador of FUTA Registry Award, and also Mr. Ifeoluwade, Worthy Ambassador also of FUTA Registry Award. I celebrate State's Worthy Compatriots for the recognition award accorded them, and I hope that they will be sure to do more, and also the awards will inspire coming generations. I must also thank you for accepting our awards, because I know people of your caliber don't accept awards from everybody. You accept awards from people that we expect. So we thank you for respecting us and accepting our award. I deserve also special recognition for the Registry Annual Lecture Organizing Committee, ably led by my boss, Mr. Isaac Adefafila, the Deputy Registrar in the Vice Chancellor's Office, for the efforts put into making today's event a reality. May the good Lord reward all the members of Rallo and Sunday. Let me once again express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed speaker. People call you guest speaker, but you are not a guest speaker. The speaker of today was once a lecturer at FUTA. And this morning he told me that as a lecturer and a member of ASU executive, he had come here several for ASU meetings, coming to appear for ASU meetings. So he's not a guest in our midst. Professor Eghagha for making our time to be with us. Sir, your availability is not taken for granted. We feel deeply honored to have you lead an all-important conversation. To all our guests and participants, I'm aware we have at least 15 institutions here today. I invite you to engage deeply with the ideas that we will share today. Let us stimulate fresh conversation for the growth and development of our respective institutions and the education sector at large. Occasions like this are also for knowledge sharing, they are for benchmarking, they are for quality control in our institutions. Please feel free to take as much good examples as you can take from FUTA. Also, feel free to share with our staff whatever you think we can do better. We believe that we are not there, we are just on the way, but we are sure that we are on the right path. So definitely we will get there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to actually welcome you all as we declare this event open. Thank you for your attention.
Another round of applause for our Vice Chancellor. Quickly, I would like to recognize and welcome the Registrar at the University of Eghagha, Dr. Grace Babalola. You are welcome. We have members of staff of the Registry of the Federal University of Education, Ondo. Please can you stand up for recognition? You are welcome. From the Federal University, Oye. You are welcome. Indigenous University, Eghagha. Elizabeth University, Lara. Thank you. From Joseph Ayo Babalola University, Kejara region. University of Malaysia. Adekule Adash University, Abuja. Afe Babalola University, Abuja. And the University of Benin. You are all welcome. Quickly now, we would like to take our good messages in 1 minute each, please. And the first person I would like to invite is the Registrar, Federal University of Technology and Environmental Sciences in Ekiti, Mr. Eghagha. In 1 minute, please.
The honors of today are colleagues in the registry from all universities are present. I bring greetings from my Vice Chancellor, Professor Eghagha Sala, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology and Environmental Sciences. Senior University of Technology. We will continue to learn. I have always been in FUTA, I have always worked in FUTA, I have friends in FUTA, and I know people in FUTA, and I know that I have a lot to learn. One of my mentors there seated, Mr. Ayoboro, who believed in me, who trained me, who taught me. I was assuring back then, Wale, your time will come. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Registrar, our Federal University of Technology and Environmental Sciences in Ekiti. Next, I would like to invite Mrs. Olufisayo Fakorede, the Registrar at the Federal University of Education, Tokyo, in 1 minute now.
Vice Chancellor, eminent and distinguished speaker of today, all distinguished guests, and registrars that are here present, all institutions that are represented, and the registry staff of the Federal University of Education. I'm glad to be here. I think this should be about the 7th lecture that I'm attending in this institution. I'm proud to be associated with this institution. And I'm also proud to announce that your librarian is from our institution. I want to congratulate the registrar and the registry staff. I always admire the way you are dressed each year that I come here. And we are taking that back home. I've told my staff today that we are going to organize our own registry annually, the 4th this year. I wish you all a very good time as we listen to the lecture of the guest lecturer. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the Registrar at the Federal University of Education, Ondo. It is my honor at this point to invite one of our own, the Registrar, New City University, Ayeto Omowe, Ogun State, Mr. Olusegun Akinye.
My own registrar. I don't know how to say it. It's good to be back home. And I always told my registrar that anytime there's anything happening in the university, I must be the first one to call. And anytime he calls, I always see his call. My dear friends and colleagues, thank you very much. You sent me to that place as an ambassador, and I'm assured that I'm representing you very well over there, and I'm not crazy. To all my uncles, my mentors, my senior mentors, my auntie, Professor Eghagha, I don't know who I have to mention. There are so many I want to mention, but I want to thank God for my life, for my mentors, particularly Professor Balogun, particularly Dr. Ayoku, particularly Nadia Turi, particularly Professor Pashaki. I've crossed all their paths. And I've learned a lot from them. My senior secondary school, Senior Bobola, that's what you call them in Africa, Senior Bobola. My Oga from Exu, Senior Itori, and my auntie, I used to love my ear, Professor Eghagha. God bless you, man. You made me what I am today, and I thank you very much for it. God bless you.
Mr. Registrar. That was a pretty brief for your kind of person. It is also my honor at this point to invite yet another one of us here. He is the Registrar, St. Mary's University, Shubare and Koko. Welcome with me, Mr. David Sunday Daramona.
The Vice Chancellor and the Chief Host of this annual registry lecture, my very dear brother and pastor, the registrar of this great university, the best university of technology in Nigeria, Mr. Eghagha will be here. And from St. Mary's University, Chicago, I wish to bring you the felicitation and warm greetings and goodwill of our Chairman of Trustees, Mr. Sam Lobo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Francis Ayodeji. It's our aim also to note, of course, that the Registry of Federal University of Technology is one to be proud of, and where I am, I'm indeed very proud to be part and parcel of the registry. I must say that the Registry of the University started this annual lecture in 2009, and it is my pleasure to be part and parcel right from the inception of this program. Since 2009, I've been part and parcel of the Registry annual lecture, and I'm glad to be here today, and I will continue to be as the Lord liveth in Jesus' name. Thank you. But then let me say this, that in St. Mary's University we are very proud from time to time to make references to what we are doing in FUTA before I took up appointment over there. And one of the things that I have in mind, which I'm actually pursuing, is to replicate registry of FUTA in St. Mary's University. And it's my pleasure to note also that by the grace of God, I am achieving that great goal by ensuring that I lay a very solid foundation for the university upon which the registry can continue to build upon, just like we have it in FUTA. With respect to today's annual lecture, it's my pleasure again to be part and parcel of it. And I believe that learning and rethinking higher qualification, looking at quality and quantity, which we know is one that actually calls for rethinking. And I hope that participating in this lecture will actually broaden my knowledge and understanding about what we need to do in higher education today. So once again, I would like to say thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, and also all of us a very wonderful experience as we go through this annual lecture. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have rabbis, members of staff from the Registry, University of Benin. They just came. You are welcome. This can stand up for recognition from the University of Benin. You are welcome. We have also representing the Commandant of those states Command of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Deputy Commandant of Corps, Olakunse Folashade Olumide, Head of State. You are welcome. At this point, before we invite our guest lecturer, quickly, just within 5 minutes, we want to listen to Leadway Assurance. Please, do we have the representative of Leadway Assurance in the house? Please, if you are here, can you step forward? The representative of Leadway Assurance. Leadway Assurance. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he's coming and he's still for 5 minutes, please.
Vice Chancellor, Chairman and distinguished guests present, the principal officers of the university, respected members of staff, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Caroline Obianudre-Zamaka from Legal Assurance Company. With me here are my colleagues and our team that are on ground to present our grant to you. I will quickly give, because of lack of time, I will give a brief summary of our company's profile. Legal Assurance Company was founded in 1970 by Sir President Eghagha. By September 22nd, 56 years strong. It will please you to know that when I say 56 years strong, we are leading insurance company here in Nigeria. We've taken over African Alliance. We've also taken over Power Pension, which was the recent one. We have branches scattered across the nation with our headquarters and head office in Lagos. What we do, rather than our various subsidiaries, we have our legal laws, our HMO, which have won 3 times first HMO in Nigeria. We have our legal pension, that will also won twice best pension in Nigeria. We have our legal asset management. We also have our legal capital and trust. At Leadway, we bring to you solutions, financial solutions to safeguarding your future, your financial future. Because we know that if, whether you decide to be financially prepared or not, life must still happen. So we bring you solutions to help mitigate the risks of life. We don't just sell insurance. We bring you and show to you how to build financial security for yourselves and your loved ones. For want of time, I want to call forth my colleagues so that they will just highlight the few plans we have. And we are on ground. At the end of the program, will permit us to key into our plans. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Pastor Eghagha. Okay, briefly, I want to talk about our endowment policy. The endowment policy is a policy that has proven very beneficial to everyone in this country, Nigeria, abroad, and the world. Now, I'll talk about our endowment plan. As an individual here, we all have financial set goals. Looking at setting up a business for yourself, Legal Assurance has that policy to help you achieve that. You want to purchase a property for yourself in the future and you don't know how to go about that, Legal Assurance is here to help you. You want to augment your retirement? Yes, we know most of us here have our pension. Most persons also don't have. Legal is here to give you the best platform to augment that retirement, because we know at the point of retirement there are a lot of financial challenges, health, and the rest of it. With our legal personal retirement plan, will help you to retire gracefully and not painfully. Also, looking at education today in Nigeria, it's becoming very expensive. This is an academics forum we are here today. Education is not being any longer easy for most parents to actually fund it. So this way, with our new education plan, we give you a purpose to plan and prepare for that future. If you have kids who are still in secondary school, primary school, this is the right time for you to kick off that education target plan for them. So that at the point where they want to go into higher institution, you don't have to go through the thick and thin of struggling to see them through school. Legal Insurance Education Talent Plan helps every individual to save towards that goal. Now, as
for the benefits, why you want to save the legal assurance, you have the plan of saving for duration, which is more convenient for you. If your child is a tender child to primary or secondary school, we look at 10 years time or 15 years time, that child is going to go to school. We set up a target for you with the preferred choice amount you want. If you feel with 20 million naira, 30 million naira is enough for you to see your child in school, we'll help you run that plan where you save instrumentally. It could be on a monthly basis, quarterly, half-yearly, or annual basis for you to achieve that target for your child. At the point of retirement also, we can also help you to begin to save aside that fund which can help you achieve your goals at retirement also. Then there are benefits attached to this, which the life insurance cover gives you from every other financial institution. Where you try to save with the legal insurance today, and you have a target of 10 years, and the duration or the amount is 10 million naira, it will give you a way to save that before that period of savings, you have been able to accumulate even more than what you expect. If life happens, even before you get to that 10 years, legal assurance also helps you cover up for that gap for that child, irrespective of how much you have saved. Also for your retirement, it can also work as a will for you to be able to protect your family and its financial state. Thank you. I will allow my colleague to conclude. Thank you very much.
Because of our time, we don't want to give you this bonus. And this bonus is talking about our senior citizens, about the retirement plan. We have what we call annuity and program we have for those who have retired. And under annuity is covered by PENCOM, and annuity is covered by 3 bodies, the PENCOM, the NICOM, and the SEC, Security and Election Commission. On this area, the annuity will give you opportunity for you to earn pension for life. Whereas program withdrawal and the program for a certain number of years. You get to know for men 18 years and women 22 years. And annuity offer you soft loan in case you need a loan even after retirement. Because you have the same balance that you are giving to the annuity stand as a security for you or a collateral. And many other things that we have, because of one of time, the outside there, please feel free to meet us, fill your form, and we help you to ensure that you are guided and you are stable for financial security for yourself and for our loved ones. Once again, I want to thank the management of this organization, the Vice Chancellor, and the organizer of this program for giving us this opportunity to be here today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to thank us for legal assurance. Quickly, I would like to recognize and welcome members of staff of the Registry, University of Eghagha. Please kindly stand up for recognition. University of Eghagha, you are welcome. And of course, we take the last good message before we move to the lecture. But then I would like to recognize and welcome a member of my constituency, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Ondo State, Prince Ebenezer Adegunyo. You are welcome. Right now, I would like to invite the Registrar, Adekunle Adashi University of Ibadan, Dr. Grace Olukomi Babalola, for our good message. In 1 minute now.
The Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Akure, the Registrar and the consultant for my appointment as Registrar at Eghagha University. All policies duly extended. My first contact with FUTA was with late Dr. Mrs. Oyebade, as one of the members of the Governing Council at Eghagha University, and thereafter as the Director of Advancement at Eghagha University. I
And I want to tell everybody here present that impact, I am still reeling from that impact. Another contact was with Dr. Ogurupu in 2013 when he came to deliver a lecture at Eghagha University. I want to say that FUTA is doing a great job, and that several other institutions are actually taking a cue from you. And I'd like to encourage you to keep up the good work. And thank you again for donating one of yours. Our own Vice Chancellor, Professor Tomola Obamwi. Thanks for the invitation, thanks for having us. And I wish us all a successful outing. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Madam Registrar. Right now, we are moving to the lecture. The lecture is titled Quality or Quantity: Rethinking Higher Education Administration in 21st Century Nigeria. I would like to invite the guest lecturer, Professor Eghagha, to step forward as I invite my colleague, Chidima Okwade, to take his citation.
Eghagha is a highly distinguished Nigerian academic, prolific creative writer, astute public administrator, renowned for his multifaceted contributions to the humanities and governance. He has successfully bridged the gap between rigorous ivory tower scholarship and impactful public service. As a full professor of English literature and literary analysis at the University of Lagos, UNILAG, his career embodies an unwavering dedication to fostering intellectual curiosity, pioneering creative expressions, and advancing tertiary education policy at both state and national levels. Born on 4 September 1959 in Burutu, Delta State, Professor Eghagha's academic foundation spans several prestigious Nigerian institutions. He earned his Bachelor of Arts in Theatre Arts with second-class upper honors from the University of Jos in 1982, before moving to UNILAG to obtain his Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy in English Literature in 1986 and 1994, respectively. Deeply rooted in the UNILAG academic tradition, he rose through the institutional ranks from a graduate assistant to a full professor in 2010. He subsequently served as the acting dean, Faculty of Arts in 2015, and later as the head Department of English from 2016 to 2019, where he famously sustained the department's historic legacy of creative and linguistic excellence. Beyond the lecture halls of Akoka, Professor Eghagha has left an indelible mark on public administration and educational reform. In January 2009, he was appointed by the Delta State government as the Pioneer Commissioner for Higher Education, a cabinet position he occupied for 6.5 years across consecutive tenures. Thank you very much. During his time as Commissioner, he spearheaded massive infrastructural upgrades across state-owned tertiary institutions and fundamentally sanitized student bursary and scholarship processes by introducing the electronic registration and automated payment portals. His administration successfully discovered and expunged thousands of fraudulent links from the state scholarship payroll, establishing a transparent system where deserving students received direct across playwriting, poetry, journalism, and fiction. He has authored highly acclaimed plays such as Death, Not a Redeemer, which has served as a staple text across Nigerian universities, alongside notably poetry collections like Mama Dances into the Night and Pepe in My Thoughts. A fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Letters, his sharp societal critics extend into mainstream journalism, where he has served as a long-standing columnist and visiting member of the Guardian newspaper's editorial board, utilizing his pen to proffer solutions to contemporary national issues. Madam Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ho Eghagha, delivering the 15th Registry Annual Lecture titled Quality or Quantity, Rethinking Higher Education Administration in 21st Century Nigeria. Thank you.
Let me thank you for your kind comments about me. And when I met her in the Vice Chancellor's office, I thought, there is a young lady, pretty and beautiful, and of course, brilliant. Really impressed in the way she relates with members of staff of the registry. Indeed, that is how it should be, and that forms a part of what I am going to say in this lecture. The Deputy Vice Chancellors here, all the main staff, the registrar, Charles, VC of London State University, the former Vice Chancellor of the It's an honor to have you in this gathering. The former registrar here, in fact, when we were introducing the galaxy of staff who have migrated from here to become Vice Chancellors, I said maybe I should have remained here. For 6.5 years of my early academic life before I ported back to Lagos. It's nice to be back home. My Lord's spiritual and temporal, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Next slide. I'll start by acknowledging the kindness of God Almighty to me, the fourth thanking the organizers of this lecture series for graciously inviting me to share my thoughts with you on quality and quantity in higher education in the 21st century. These days, one must give thanks to God daily to live in this country. Each day is a gift, and there is an age that you don't take any day for granted. So I must acknowledge Jehovah God Almighty for his goodness. I also pupils from the secondary schools in the bush in Promotion, area of Oyo State. Thank God we are all out. I'm particularly attuned to that experience because I was kidnapped once. And I spent 16 days in the custody of those scoundrels. This was in 2012, before it became as rampant as it is now. And indeed, when I was invited to come and give this lecture, I said, I'm not going to travel on this road. Please, what can you do for me? And I thank the registrar for graciously organizing a ticket for me to come here. As educators, we cannot separate ourselves from the well-being of the students who expect to come into the system or the students who are currently here. For we are here because we are here. We are here because we expect those in the primary schools, those in the secondary schools, to ultimately land in this system. So we are interested in what happens to them. We're interested in their psychology. We're interested in their experiences. When I teach creative writing, I interact with students, and you find some very deep and profound experiences, which some of the students have had. Next slide. Yeah, so quality and quantity. I would not like to see quality and quantity as binary. I would like to see them as complementary. They are complementary to one is complementary to the other. All right? So they are not opposites. But the title seems to invite us to see quality and quantity as alternatives. They're treating them as complementary is more useful in my view. Because we have a shared goal in this system, both dimensions, self-one and efficient, valuable education, administration for every stakeholder. So every stakeholder in this system is important. That is one of the key statements I am going to make. Between academic and non-academic. As Albert Einstein once said, any fool can know. The point is to understand. How well do we in the education sector understand the broad issues in the education sector? There are some who believe that non-academic staff are not important in the university system because these institutions are created for learning, not administrators. As a result, there is sometimes serious rivalry between academics and non-academics in the universities. This pops up often during negotiations for welfare and come at the monopolies in the system. The lecture is organized by the Registry department, and it is tempting to limit higher education administration complementing the title to the registry, to the non-academic staff, because the duties are largely administrative. However, for the purpose of the overall benefits of the university system, I've included administration in a broader sense, to include the role and freedom of the men and women at the helm of affairs. Vice Chancellors, the Dean, heads of departments, all of these qualification of administrators. And of course, the registry and other support staff within the system. If the organizers had a different notion of what the trajectory of this lecture should be, I apologize for traveling in different routes. The end result of this exercise is to enhance service delivery to students who have been placed in our care. To produce excellent students, we need to be holistic in our approach to education to ensure university administrators are part of this process. We need results to be promptly prepared. We need transcripts, certificates to be prepared as at Wednesday. And who are those in charge is the non-academic staff. Lab technologists, computer operators, health workers in the university system are part of this support network that the university needs. Security has also become an issue. So the security staff in the university system are also part of administration. All workers in this category fall under the non-academic staff. I'd like to ask some questions. Are our graduates fully prepared for the challenges of the 21st century as we currently teach them? Are they simply waiting to finish the degree and go out to do something else? How kids are our laboratories, our libraries, and our IT facilities? I once had an encounter with a female corps member who was posted to my office as a computer graduate of a university I mentioned. And I said, I hope you can do web processing in my office. You know what she said? She said, sir, we're not given a computer to practice. I intend to learn how to use the computer here in Asa. That was scandalous. BSc Computer Science. How efficient is the system that we operate? How efficient do we manage exams? Do we manage lectures? Do we manage production of results? Are we overwhelmed by the tragedy of missing results? How conducive are the lecture halls for lectures and examinations? Do our students sometimes place cardboards on their cards to write exams or sit on the floor? Remember, these students judge us. While we are training them, they also evaluate us. And when they give us the benefit of hindsight, they can see, they will see, they could say, the university is not properly organized. So let's have that at the back of our mind in our relationship with our students. Do we run programs which make students say, school has come? In other words, how relevant are our programs to our environment, particularly as we let's place it in context in the 21st century? How promptly do we produce exam results and transcripts? How efficiently do we manage the boards of residents? Well, the Vice Chancellor is the Chief Executive of the University, Chief Academic Officer, operational head of the university, or visits are appointed by the university's governing council to oversee day-to-day affairs of the administration, supported by deputy vice chancellors, deans, heads of department. All right. They issue directives or implement directives of the governing council after deliberations of Senate. Is also in charge of resource management, responsible for granting or generating funds and attracting grants and managing human and material resources. The modus operandi of appointing vice chancellor has gone through changes from the years of the early university system and department through the first set of indigenous universities to the third generation until now. At that time, it was possible for us to have vice chancellors migrating from one university to the other. Thank God it still happens here. In other words, the FUTA and you are appointed vice chancellor in another university. However, certain troubling factors are beginning to come into the appointment of vice chancellors. My distinguished audience, how can indigeneity be a factor of appointing a vice chancellor? In other words, you must be an indigene to be a vice chancellor. So, people then lobby. People who are well connected, go outside the system. I am education consultant for Delta State. Someone wants to be vice chancellor. He comes to me with a bottle of drink to lobby me to say, support me. Meanwhile, maybe doesn't have the requisite number of names. I'll read this quote from here. Most federal universities have the president or visitor, and state universities have the governor, the appointment. Many federal universities have the president as visitor, and state universities have the governor. They appoint the governing council chair, pro-chancellor, and then the final short list is sent to the visitor for confirmation. That means political loyalty, party connections, or regional balancing can outweigh academic merit. I once wrote an essay in the Eghagha where I said, in a particular university, not only that you must come from the state, you must come from a particular ethnic group to be vice chancellor, and they declared me external matter in that university, where I used to be an external examiner. The council is supposed to run a transparent search in practice. Allegations come up of council members being planted to push a perceived candidate. The summary is that the system is sometimes compromised. It is because of this that we had a very nasty experience in June this year of a vice chancellor who approved a number for the appointment of 24 aides in various capacities within the office of the vice chancellor. And it took intervention of the Federal Ministry of Education and Agency to stop that exercise. Is it going on? So if you have a vice chancellor who is supposed to be an academic head, the administrative head, emerged through a compromised process. How efficiently is it going to go? I hope I'm not ruffling feathers here. Okay, thank you. So, on the latter note, when I was head of the government, we had a national meeting of students, associations, nationals all over the country. The president had a special assistant. The president of the association had a special assistant. That special assistant had a PA. And it was that PA that was sent to me. See how ridiculous it has become. Non-academic staff in the universities. Universities support staff in Nigeria, widely known as non-academic, are the backbone of university administration. They fall into two main categories, senior and junior, and then we have other breakdowns, very familiar territory. It's in the lecture, I will always time there. Registry is central to the administrative engine of the day-to-day management of the universities. So they provide the administrative backbone for the efficient running of the university. All right. The registry is segmented into highly specialized operational arms to ensure institutional efficiency. It is when you get to the position of administration that you can understand these dynamics. How relevant the registry is to the university. As a lecturer, you may not appreciate them. You may not. That is because your contact with them is also limited. Alright? When we want money, we go to the bursary. When we want letters, we go to the registry. That's all. But they are relied by the administration. The registry operates under the law of arts establishing each specific university, ensuring that all academic and operational activities align with government's mandates and institutional objectives. So the key person in that position is the registrar. Of course, we have engineers, we have health workers at the health center, or health clinic, university clinic. All of these broadly come under the registry or non-academic staff. Flowing from the above, both academic and non-academic staff of the universities have a pivotal role to play if we must achieve the goals of higher education in Nigeria. This is because universities are run on a tripartite model: council, policy affairs, and finance, senate, academics, management, day-to-day. Management is made up of both academic leaders, like the DVCs, non-teaching staff, principal officers of the university, including the registrar and the board. If one is sidelined, you get the kind of issues you saw in the FUTA 24 days. I'm sure the registrar of that university, even if you withdrawn, would not support that or those agreements. Because, as the report says, they bypassed due process. It is therefore what we iterate that, quote, without academic staff, you lose academic integrity. Without non-teaching staff, you lose structure, records, and operations. Both are non-negotiable. While preparing for this lecture, there was breaking news that the federal government had abolished the 6334 system. The news first came out last year, but it was denied by the federal government. The question is, did we really implement the 6334 as it was designed? We never did. Now we are abolishing it, and we are looking for reasons, rather excuses, to justify this somersault. I don't understand the details yet. It is unraveling, all right? But as teachers in the university system, it should concern us. It should concern us because their ultimate destination is the university. We must acknowledge the fact that higher education is growing fast. We are told that from the 1948, when Eghagha was established, there are various figures. Some say 312 universities, some say 309 that are being bandied about. Well, about 300 to be on the safe side. The federal universities are 77, state-owned universities are 67, and private universities are 168. 168. 1,955,060 candidates sat for the last exam. 71,000 registered, but not sure of the right exam for different reasons. In 1978, when JAM started, there were only 13 universities, but only 6 universities participated. There were only 96,000 candidates. So from 96,000, from 13 universities to 300 universities, there's rapid expansion. There's access. Right? So what is happening? There is quantity. We are going to see subsequently whether we have the quality. Against this background of a giant leap in the number of applicants and candidates, they also do the need to expand the number of teaching and non-teaching staff. The national NEC has not decreed on what ratio of teaching staff to non-teaching staff should be. But the real question is, what is reasonable in terms of the staffing situation? The National University Commission does not publish a single nationwide ratio, but for accreditation, it benchmarks staff. NEC benchmark minimum academic standards, staffing guidelines, 1 academic to 1 or 1.5 non-academic. That means 1 academic staff to 1 or 1.5 non-academic. Federal University of Akure and Togo, I hope my source is right, has a total non-teaching administrative staff population of roughly 300 to 500 permanent administrative personnel. While the Rwanda University employs over 2,400 staff, including academics, the non-academic segment generally accounts for about a third to half of the institutional workforce. The reason for this ratio of non-academic staff includes admin, registry, work, security, health, library, ICT, which has become very, very relevant if we are to train students for the 21st century job market. NEC expects adequate support staff, so lecturers are not, they're not doing admin work. also there is a discourse between academic and non-academic staff. Yes, that's the reality. That the non-academic staff could tamper with results. And we have seen examples. However, we have also seen examples where academic staff tamper with results. So we hope it's both ways. But non-academic staff oversee the ICT department. Therefore, they need to hire competent, trustworthy, non-academic staff cannot be over-influenced. We need to make the point that both academic and non-academic staff, in some instances, have been implicated in results tampering. Some private universities have not followed this model. The risk of mentioning, there is a university I know, a private university, where courses are assigned by the director of academic programs and teachers. In other words, he has subsumed the functions of the faculty and the department under the DA. How do we tolerate such a practice? Private universities seem to have settled for one academic to zero non-academic, or 1 to 1.2. They argue that with leaner literacy staffing, the institutions will be more focused on teaching to cut costs. Another way of cutting costs is to outsource certain departments to reduce the burden of pensions and gratuities. So we outsource security, right? We outsource other aspects. Is there a university that has outsourced processing of results to an ICT company foreign to the university? No university as far as I know. It's opposite that balancing quality and quantity are crucial for sustainable development. Many Nigerian universities report overloaded non-academic staff. A shortage of academic staff, or versus shortage of academic staff. ASU and ASU conflict often center on these imbalance. So while NUC aims for 1.1, actual ratios swing depending on the institution. Whereas Commissioner Education found that the ratio was unbecoming, and when staff of the Ministry of Higher Education made the case for reducing the staff. It also happened here. When I was teaching at the matter came up to get military administrators, they said, the university, like the civil service, offers job opportunities for people. You can't just throw them out into the labor market. So, for some social, cultural, and political reasons, I don't know where it still happens. They used to be letters from government house, please employ. Alright? So, whether the space exists or not, the head of administration is compelled to hire that person. Some key issues. It is true that rapid expansion and compromise not, but it doesn't. It is a trade-off between access versus standards. The key point is how fast to expand versus the resources that we have. Are there enough resources to expand? The you have enough lecture halls, or you bring the students in, you bring the personnel in, and begin to build to accommodate them. The recommendation is that expansion should be gradual, phased, and nuanced. The accreditation exercise on that on agencies is an attempt to ensure quality. But what do we find, my dear members of the academic community? Though we find cases of window dressing, NGC accreditation team is coming. Let us create discipline as a library or ICT. What is the overall impact of that action? I'm speaking generally from experience, not any particular university. Some borrow staff to show up for the exercise. Some get adjunct lecturers and put their names. And our colleagues from NGC, when they come as well, they smell that or we move on. Who suffers eventually is us, the academic staff. So, one of my recommendations is let us present ourselves as we are. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but that is my thinking. One of the effects of rapid multiplication of institutions is that teaching quality is happening. And you have people who are not on PhD and senior, in fact, assistant lecturer, lecturer 2, lecturer 1, then lecturer 1 is in heaven without experience. Staff shortages become a recurring destiny. NGC's own data shows that Nigeria already has 100,000 for 2.1 million students. That is 1 to 21 ratio. If you open 20 universities overnight without 20 more qualified pages, you end up with underqualified lecturers, adjuncts, or moonlighting staff teaching 4 to 5 courses, sometimes 7 and 9 courses. How is that possible? How effective in teaching debt suffers? And we complain about poor returns on performance when these graduates get into the labor market. Another effect of rapid expansion is diluted mentorship. Good teaching is helped by a small number, sizable. You are speaking to 500 students in this hall without adequate PA system. Some students are at the back, they can't hear you. What are we doing? So, it is the duty of both academic and non-academic staff to ensure that this does not happen. Brain. New universities also poach staff from existing universities. Sometimes to the detriment of the given university. The senior staff, senior lecturers are hijacked, make them professors, and it affects quality. When administration fails, one of the consequences is weak systems, accreditation, exams, transcripts, admissions need robust administrative systems. Expansion. You see, A student graduates and travels to America and writes to the university, I want my transcripts. And that is when we start searching for the student's results. I have an experience when I was teaching here. These two guys, two young men, I liked them. They were from Lagos, happy, going guys, and for some reason they also liked me. By the way, apart from the person identified, I have former students of mine there. That's one of the benefits of the teacher. I'm in the shopping mall in London, and somebody said, "Oh, you taught me." I'm in the shopping mall in Dubai. After my kidnap, I traveled to Dubai to rest my head. Although my head didn't rest. My body left, but my mind remained there. Somebody ran up to me, Professor, I can't remember what's going on. So, yes. So I like these two young men. This day, I met that young man, sociable, nice guy, happy, was weeping profusely. I said, what's the matter? He said he had already had an extended semester because he was told he failed one course. Now, having done that course, he came to see the exams officer. And the exams officer said there was a course he didn't pass in year 2, which was the second semester course. I said, did you fail that course? He said, no, that he passed it. Are you sure? Yes. What's the course? Give me the details. And I went to the HOD's office. When I was a young man, I had the energy and the zeal. So in the presence of the HOD, I brought out the script. That time, all the scripts were in the HOD's office. I brought out the file. The lecturer who taught the course was very diligent. I arranged all the scripts serial. And I just went through his number and brought out this. It had both exam and continuous assessment. They passed. If I hadn't done it, that's how I would have kept that ball for another year. What memory would he have of the university? So that lecturer, that non-academic staff, and some non-academic staff have their attitude of being hostile to students. Please. You know, the want to put the students in their place. And so they are very hostile. Sometimes I feel that the person talking and the person they are talking to, there is a polite person saying, excuse me, ma'am, are you deaf? So, if we train students and we can't produce the results of their transcripts, they are failing. So, it's a symbiotic relationship between academic staff and non-academic staff. Now, there is shortage in some universities. Expansion is not bad if it is properly planned. That means there should be available resources, a staggered rollout, open faculties in phases, and not 50 programs, and announcing to the world that running 50 programs. Right? Build staffs, offices, and labs. In the 21st century, we can't afford to do without laboratories. We can't afford to do without virtual libraries. All right? Virtual libraries. So-called paperless libraries. Funding for those capital and recurring grants must match students' numbers, strict accreditation guidelines, and NC DMAS exists for this reason. that expansion without proportional investment in people and systems infrastructure is equal to quantity over quality. It creates economies instead of universities. Those for them. Resource constraints, inadequate funding or infrastructure, faculty, curriculum relevance. I read that some universities are abolishing the humanities abroad. I mean the humanities. So what are we trying to do in the humanities? We are going digital. Alright? That is for literary studies. It is a dangerous thing they're doing. Way of artificial intelligence is good, but even when the drivers of AI are beginning to warn mankind that we should be careful, we also must be careful. Rethinking administration. In terms of quality, in order to elevate academic standards in the university system, we must conduct routine peer reviews, internal audits, mock evaluation ahead of NUC visitation. We do that in the lab. Vice Chancellor's office sends people from academic planning to come and speak to us. What are your shortcomings? And the ones that can be addressed should also be addressed. I also had an experience as Commissioner for Higher Education. When I arrived, our medical students were sent to Unilever for once they got to 300, looking for 200 for the MBBS exam. I said, wow. They said because we were not accredited. And that year, the Delta State government paid 150 million for our students to move. Next year, it was, I think, 75 million. I'm not sure of the figure. And I then contacted colleagues in the Nigerian Medical and Dental Council. I said, what can you do for me for our university to be accredited? They said they will come on mock accreditation, and I spoke to the government. Provided to seed money, they did. And then they will encounter politics. There were certain persons who wanted the teaching hospital to be in a particular town, but that town did not have the facilities. Another town in another part of the state had a brilliant, well-equipped hospital, a teaching hospital standard. So, first went to, and then we got into the mortuary. They said, so you people marry dead people in the mortuary. I said, what do you mean? You know, when you get into the morgue, is it dry? What do they call it? Dry environment. So they're not inside in a refrigerator. They are standing in their natural state, man and woman. So this is unacceptable, culturally. And then we had a pile of dead bodies. He said, what are you doing with these dead bodies? And then the room, this is not fitting. So we got to where government has built a hospital. And then we said, why did you take us to that place when we had this? Politics. And then they wrote specifically that the hospital in Uganda should be the teaching hospital. I don't know for those who are from it. That's how Eghagha became a teaching hospital. And they made recommendations. My colleague in health, the vice chancellor of the university, everybody got to know. The next year, we got accreditation for medicine. That was a personal effort. I didn't want to claim any ground. For me, it was what should wanted to make it big. Research grants and partnership create robust internal research grant systems that will help lecturers to attend international conferences. And these days, we have to be web-friendly. The university has to have web presence through international conferences, through citations. So, we need to help academics. Because sometimes they have to pay to access those grants. Some of the private universities actually give them grants. Yes, they do. I know that mountain top also. It's also important that there should be collaboration between the university and the town. I was pleasantly thrilled to learn that this university is powered by solar energy. Please clap for yourselves. And I said, what else? This is a technology university, and they should show the light. Never bees, diesel can run down the cost, can run down the university. Alright? Unilab, when they spend as much as, you won't believe this, 400 to 500 million naira monthly on PhD deals. Yes. I'm told that here you have a farm. I hope somebody can snap a picture of that farm and give to me when I come back to India. Then you see recommended guideline and ratio. Well, the statistical data for 2019, staffing in Nigerian universities, student and staff population analysis, the data separates, okay, 5 more minutes. Let me go to my conclusion. I think I've made all the points right. So the advance of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is there to stay. It has challenged conventional ways of teaching and receiving knowledge, and we should be conscious of that in our teaching and administration. One of our recommendations is that the government should increase funding, and the managers of the system should optimize resource allocation. This includes strategic planning, which means the need to develop a clear strategy that aligns resource allocation with organizational goals and priorities. Universities should strengthen or redesign the examination resource process to ensure fidelity and efficiency. There should be cost-benefit analysis by using tools like cost-benefit analysis CPA to evaluate the potential usefulness of different resource allocation options, ensuring that funds are deployed in the best and effective manner. Universities should deploy technology integration by leveraging advanced technologies into its operations. Registration, processing of results should be automated. There should be continuous monitoring by applying the minimum standards set by NEC faithfully and honestly, including these reflections of quality and quantity. It's opposite was there that the university system faces a great challenge in the 21st century. Some are beginning to question the very basis of university education. Some of our students query our teaching methods. Balancing the scale between education, expansion, and academic excellence is the defining challenge of our time. In 21st century Nigeria, the true measure of a university's success was shifted entirely from merely producing large numbers of graduates to cultivating highly skilled, globally competitive professionals. We cannot allow our institutions to become mere degree needs. By prioritizing strategic funding, rigorous accreditation, and robust capacity building over unchecked enrollment, Nigerian higher education can transcend its current growing pace and establish a legacy of uncompromised excellence. Let us commit to building an administrative framework where quality is not just an idea, but the non-negotiable foundation of our academic future. And in that process, both academic staff and non-academic staff are partners. I thank you for your attention.
I will now invite the chairman for this lecture and the chief host, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Eghagha, for the question and answer session.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof, for this all-round lecture. All-round because you touched on so many parts, even beyond what we were looking at. The course of the lecture, I rushed out. I have to declare an advanced copy of the lecture. Thank you very much, Prof. If there is anything that should bother us now, when we talk about quantity or quality, the way the reasoning of the generation of now should bother us. Why do our young people say education is a scam? They say it because, not only because they can't see themselves benefiting from whatever it is that they're learning, but they also say it because the people they meet, you and I, that they meet and are educated, they can't see the impact and the import of education in the way we do our things. The way the lecturer teaches them, the way the registry staff attend to them when they visit them, when they come to meet us. What is our service delivery like? Does it show people who have quality education? This is one reason why they think education is a scam. Because the educated people are not different again from the uneducated. Before now, we used to think that there are so many things that are easy to resolve within the educated community. But even now, those things are surfacing, and you ask yourself, why should things like this come up within the academic community, within the university, for example? I also like it when the lecturer said, you cannot mass produce leaders. You cannot mass produce vice chancellors, registrars, deans, professors, deputy registrars. It's not possible. It's not a million, there's no million process that can produce them. They have to come through a process before we get them to the quality that we want. I think the lecturer deserves another round of applause. I'm not supposed to take another lecture, so apologies for my comments, because my thoughts and the burden that I have. So we'll take questions briefly, questions and comments also. You have something to contribute to the discourse. Yes, our babas are here. Of course, you will have the floor. Any other person? I see two. Somebody at the
You know, it is days like this that you know that you are old, because I cannot see the back. If you can identify anybody at the back, please come forward. Please come forward to ask the question. Okay, I've seen you. Is there a microphone that can get to you? Okay, please give him the microphone. No, start from the back. Anyone?
My name is Eghagha from the University. In the light of the topic of this morning or this afternoon, I believe if we can utilize all that is said today and that we have in the text, the lecturer has really brought hope to administration in higher institutions. Now, my area of concern is the processing of transcript, academic transcript of students. This, with my little experience in the School of Graduate Studies, I've seen some students losing the opportunity of getting admission into a designing university due to delay in the process of their transcript from their own institution. But when a student requests for transcript in my own institution, I look at the speed in which it is being processed and being delivered within regulated time. I am really concerned that how can we increase the quality and quantity of our efficiency in the production of transcript so that most of our students, especially when they are applying to universities outside the country, will not lose their slot henceforth. I would like my lecturer to please assist me in shedding more light on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In my opinion, I would think you are the one that should assist us. Because you said you have the method that you are using and it's making it fast. So why are you asking the lecturer to help us? You are the one to tell us, but the lecturer will assist. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. To me, I think this lecture is not only meant for administrators, it's for all the universities. And I wish that other aspects of the University of the academic staff are also part of this gap here, because we are touching many things. This topic, this quality and quantity, you know, it reminds me when I was in the University of as a student. We have different halls. There's one sport which I belong to. You know, they normally say quantity for quantity. And quantity means that they are the food, the rice. The rice, you can find the sand, you can get anything there. But it's plenty. I used to get much there so that you will just fill their belly. And it's different from some halls where we have quality of food that is very, very small and cannot even fill the belly. So, now look at it. Quantity, quality, both exist in the university. But our problem really, yes, if we want to talk of quality, I want to talk about the quality and efficiency in the system. We want to talk mostly about the quality. You said they are complementary, because we need staff. But I want you to give us an idea for the whole of AI, ICT, computerization in this 21st century for education. Because I know it's very important. And that is how we can solve the problem of quantity. Reduce the quantity of what we have. Because most universities are broke. That is what they do. They use all these modern things, have everything that are developed to help with the administration of the institution. What is the role? In terms of employment, in terms of ensuring the quality, of personnel in the university system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor Majid, Emeritus Professor Majid Badogo.
Thank you. I thought the English actually gave me last. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Prof, for the interrogation of this issue. First, I want to thank you because you were jumping from quantity or quality to quantity and quality both together. Talking about effectiveness and efficiency. I believe universities are not lacking structures to bring out the objectives. But why do we have these challenges over the years? Nigerian universities talk about the first century. Why are we not really coming on to this level that's expected? In spite of the structure, in spite of all the gamut of laws, is something wrong with us as a people? That's just my concern. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Thank you, Mr. Lecturer. Thank you so much because you brought so many aspects of the Nigerian university system into proper perspective. And I want to thank, just give me the opportunity to thank the university for maintaining this, sustaining this lecture. It gives me a sense of perspective when late Dr. Mrs. Eghagha brought this proposal to management in 2009. And we were able to approve at the management level at that time because that was exactly the period where you have this strain between academic and non-academic staff in the Nigerian universities. We then thought that, yes, the academic staff are always giving their inaugural lectures. Let us have a brief where administrative staff can come together, systematically invite lecturers, because when academic staff give their inaugural lectures, they invite both the non-academic staff and members of the board. And that's synergy. Is what if you count the number of academic staff, if you take a set of academic staff that are here today, hardly can you find about 10 to 15% of the total population. That is something that we must work on. The goal, when this lecture started, was to bring that unity among members of the university community. The lecture brings what the industrial people call what is the input, what is the output, and what is the process that or processes that have been adopted to get this input, to get this out. That is where the Nigerian university administrative staff comes from. Because they regulate the process. They are the ones within the system. They are the custodians of our rules and regulations. They are the custodians of our culture. They are the ones that should regulate this. How far you are being able to carry out those functions, there are questions that you, administrative staff of the Nigerian university, should continue to answer. Bumi Babalola, yes. Have you written that? Have you published that? we move forward in all these areas. Because funding cannot come from government. How do you get this your funding? Your funding can come from your alumni, your funding can come from your community, which is what the university now is doing very perfect. They are modernizing the process. There are many models of emotional intelligence that we got in that program. And I think it's important to share that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think, okay, Uniben has questions. Please, let's keep it short and simple.
Good afternoon. My name is Eghagha Johnson. My question is, as a non-teaching staff in Nigerian university, how do we get our universities to ensure that they go for quality in staff recruitment and when we have limited time for employment? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Simple question. I like it. Yes, and I think that's the last.
My name is from Jambu. I think there is a current pandemic in the university system. There is a current pandemic in the university system that nobody is noticing, and I don't see it too. The constant reduction in staff strength is an issue for all universities. I'm sure it's not one university. The constant reduction in staff strength in turn reduces quality of processes, quality of education, and also quality of structure. What can be done to reduce the constant reduction in staff strength of universities? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The quality of the quantity, the number of staff is reducing. I was hear the voice of a woman. Another woman. I had one. You know, women supporting women.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Eghagha from FUTA University. Very simple question. I wanted to find out if it's possible for us to have a paperless registry. That's my question.
To have
a paperless registry.
A paperless registry.
How possible?
How possible? How feasible? Okay. So these are the questions, sir. Please attempt to answer the ones you can attempt.
Thank you, Madam.
I was told that Baba Toye wants to ask. Please keep it as short as possible, sir.
17 years ago, I had asked management to put all these reports, lectures, lectures, put them together and make our recommendations that we have here and forward to the appropriate governments. It was not done. Even so, if it is not done now, this thing will put in what will happen.
I think what you are saying, you said you have asked that all recommendations before now should be put together and forwarded to appropriate authorities. Okay. So, if it had not been done before,
at the university
that we should do it now. It's not a question really, but I will rather want to. With the appropriate authority, if not all of us here. So there are some things that are just meant for us and for us to imbibe and work on. I don't think we should be passing the word. I just think that we are here to learn, and everybody must take whatever it is that they can learn
But if there are registrar on your team, if there are things that we think we should pass on, let's pass it. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Vice Chancellor. I'll start with the very last. What you're saying is that these recommendations that have been made over the years should be put together and sent to the appropriate authorities. There are some that should be within, there are some that should go out. I think that's what you're saying. And that's very good. The registry, for instance, can compile the ones that concern our registry staff, that small interaction with somebody over a transcript can have reverberating effect, you know. So let's advise ourselves, be civil to them. How can the system of results and transcripts be more efficient? Let the system be automated. Simple answer. When I finish teaching, let me upload my results. Yes. And all results, I repeat, all results must be accounted for. Every person who wrote the exam must have a result. Somebody in the ICT section should say, oh, Prof. Eghagha, 100 students registered for this exam. You have returned only 96. We are not going to accept. Once it's automated, the system will be easier. How can these tools? Yes, we can gradually, all right? Gradually. I will mention this question with the one that says, can we have a paperless registry? I think it is possible if we start it gradually. If we start the process gradually. Because if you return to your undergraduate university, for those who went to universities in the 80s, and you want your records, they will tell you they no longer exist. But if the process is automated, even right from the registry, I think we can solve that problem. And then Baba's question, how do these challenges remain? Is there something wrong with us? Something is wrong with us. If you look at the recommendations made this year and flashback to 20 years ago, some of these complaints have been made before. That it depends on them, the chief executive, if the existing or the incumbent chief executive can make a difference. The deep-long affair between ASU and the federal government over 2009 agreement was resolved by a human being. This has been going on for nearly 20 years. But it was finally resolved once the win is there. Professor I entirely agree with your views. I don't have anything to add. As a non-academic staff, the lady from Uniben, I didn't understand the question that. Are you saying that because of your tight schedules, how can you improve your quality? Is that what you said? Please, let her have it. And while you are getting the mic ready for her, what can be done about the number of staff reducing? Yes. And sometimes takes the system a long time to replace retiring staff, since we now have a centralized employment system that if FUTA wants to employ an assistant lecturer, a professor, you have to have clearance from Abuja. You know, or is it not like that? And for many years, there was embargo on employment. All right? So if the system works efficiently, that problem will be resolved. We do know that sometimes there is a death. People retire and they are not replaced because of the overwhelming federal presence.
Your question was how you can get quality non-teaching staff, given the fact that the process of recruitment is
most times, timelines. How do we get our management to listen and, towards advising them on quality instead of quantity, considering the timelines that are set?
Madam, you have asked a question that Professor does not understand. But I will attempt to simplify the question. She said, in the process of recruitment, you have like timeline. You have to do the interviews within maybe 2 days, and there are 700 applicants. So, given these timelines, how do we still get the best out of the process? Just not, and how do you get the management to listen to them on the quality that they want? Madam, will I represent you well? You see?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chancellor. What they say, if you want to insult the king who is deaf, go and insult his son. Insult the son, insult the father to the son, the father will hear. So, I think that as individuals, you may not be able to influence the process, but that is why you have a union. In my thinking, that is why you have a union. NASU, SANU, ASU can drive this process with management. I mean, that's my short answer. I hope I've answered you. And finally, whether it's possible to have a paperless library. When I was commissioner, I visited the so-called paperless library, bookless library in university. Oh, what's this university? First rate university. Escape me, not Yale, not Harvard. The third one, Stanford. I went into Stanford, bookless library. By the way, I found a copy of the Guardian there, live. So it is possible to have a paperless system. All right, but gradually, let's phase out this old system of documenting. And then cost of paper is also very expensive. All right? So I think it is possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think Prof has done justice to the topic. One thing that I would like to chip in is to
say that in dealing with the issue of staff reducing, I think that we are complaining because we are still using staff. We are using human beings for the work of machine. And if we do not change and don't understand that there are some processes that we were doing before that we don't even need again. You know, university is traditional. We are too traditional. And we want it to be like as it was in the beginning, so it is now and ever shall be. And if we do not move from that trajectory, we are going to complain and we will not achieve a lot of things. When we come to Senate, for example, we have like 4-5 Senate, 4 people from the SMAO, we call it our own SMAO, to come and cover the meeting. And I ask myself, has life not advanced beyond this? While nobody is asking that people lose their jobs and that people are no longer relevant, but things have evolved, things have changed. Why are we so traditional? And that is where we should be looking at now. Even when we talk about teaching, things have evolved, things have changed. So if we want to be the lecturer of 40 years ago now, we're just wasting our energy. And I believe that's where we should begin to focus our attention. The newer universities are able to provide transcripts more quickly because they are able to embrace technology from the beginning. The older universities, they were waving at technology when technology came. And now, time has caught up with us because the data we do not, many times we don't even have them again. And that's why it's difficult for us to process. And many of us are just imbibing the technology. Let's not use human beings, for the work of machine. And I believe we will solve some of our problems. I want to thank us for our attention. We will go to the next phase, but I need to acknowledge somebody. You know, if you go to the UK secondary school, they forbid wearing of cap and hats in schools, particularly hats and hoodies within the premises. And the reason is because they know people disguise a lot when they put on hats. There is somebody here who put on hats, and I didn't see him as he's supposed to be seen when I came. Chief Asaguna and Mrs. Why did you wear hats to this place? Please remove your hat and let people see you very well. Thank you for coming, sir.
A round of applause for the chairman of this lecture, our Vice Chancellor. Quickly, before the next thing on the agenda, I would like to recognize and welcome the President, NAPS of Ondo State, Honorable Sadiq, and other members of the association here. You are welcome. I would also like to recognize the Ashamo of Akure, Chief Olure JP, Kabiyesi. We have in our midst staff from Macpherson University. They are known from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, to Macpherson. I select one of them. We have Professor Victor Oyetayo, the Dean College of Natural and Applied Sciences. You are welcome. We have Dr. Adewale Oke, Acting Dean Faculty of Medical Lab Sciences. Dr. Adeduro, Acting Director, ICT. Dr. Gio Ajayi, Head Human Resource. Mrs. Florence Adetunji, Head Guidance and Counseling. Engineer C. Agrola, Coordinator Works and Physical Planning. Mrs. Ike Adeshina, Secretary College of Postgraduate College. And of course, this person is not a Futarian. They are all staff of the Federal University of Technology, including Mr. Tokubo, the Director of Information and Public Relations. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Mrs. Tony Femi Awofade, Deputy Registrar, Exams and Records Office, to respond to goodwill messages from well-wishers on behalf of the Registrar.
Thank you very much. the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion, our Registrar, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Registrar of this institution, Mr. Charles Adele, I'd like to acknowledge the following good messages that we have received on the occasion of the 15th Registry Annual Lecture from the following individuals and organizations. We have number one on the list is Royal Birds, Hotels and Towers, Engineer Bankole Desmond Eke, you are recognized, sir. Number two, Agent Construction Limited, Abuja, under the chairman leadership of Engineer Yusuf Adeoye, you are recognized, sir. John Khan Consulting Civil and Structures Engineers, under the leadership of Engineer John Eghagha, you are also acknowledged. We have Principal Partner, International Limited Consulting Engineers, Engineer Ayo Ajibade, you are specially recognized. The executive and entire members of SIPSIN, FUTA branch, you are also recognized. Selected members of the Registry Annual Lecture Organizing Committee, you are also recognized. Libya Assurance Company Limited, you are also acknowledged. And Redeemers University Ede Registry, you are also recognized. And we also have a good message from Redeemers University. Subject to the registrar, I want to read. The registrar, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State. There's a good message on the occasion of the 15th Registry Annual Lecture. It gives me great pleasure to extend my warm congratulations to you and the entire registry of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, on the occasion of the 15th edition of your annual registry lecture titled Quality or Quantity, Rethinking Higher Education Administration in 21st Century Nigeria, scheduled for today. The annual registry lecture is a laudable initiative that provides a rare platform for intellectual engagement, professional development, and the exchange of ideas on issues that shape the future of university administration. Such gatherings not only enrich the knowledge and skills of professional administrators, but also reinforces our collective commitment to excellence and efficient service delivery. It is our earnest hope that in the lecture we achieve the intended objectives, inspire meaningful discussions, and contribute significantly to the continuous improvement of university governance and administrative best practices. Please accept our best wishes for a successful and impactful event. We also wish your university continued growth, greater accomplishment, and sustained excellence. Once again, I take congratulations. Kindly be assured of our high regards. Mr. D.K.C. Akintola, Registrar, Redeemers University. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fadi. We are now moving to the awards ceremony, but quickly I would like to recognize and welcome the Public Relations Executive, Ondo State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Mrs. Funke Ashakola. You are welcome. Right now, I would like to invite our guest lecturer, yes sir, Professor Eghagha. We want to make the presentation, and I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor to make the presentation, to be joined by our registrar.
Thank you, sir. I think I'm eminently qualified to present this award. Okay, there's a plan. This one comes first. on behalf of the Federal University of Technology and First, and then the Registry, we want to present this appreciation award to you, Professor Eghagha. As the lecturer of today, they have put guest lecturer here, but I don't agree that you're a guest in our university. By this lecture, you have contributed significantly to our capacity building, and we look forward to receiving you again. Thank you so much for coming at this 15th Registry Eghagha lecture today.
Officer, you are blocking us now.
Congratulations, sir. We'd like to recognize and welcome the woman that presented the last inaugural lecture of this university, one of our awardees, our former registrar, Professor Eghagha, and our husband, Professor Eghagha. I would now like to invite Honorable Armstrong Akintunde to please step forward for his award. Let me invite Emeritus Professor Adebisi Balogun to present this award. Professor Balogun.
It is my pleasure, on behalf of the Registry of the Federal University of Technology and Trade, to present this award to you for your exemplary entrepreneurship. It is an award for your entrepreneurial ability. Thank you and God bless you. Armstrong. You are not fired, you are Temitope. Yes, so I repeat, Temitope. You are not Temitope. Thank you so much.
The next award goes to Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Damilola Moshi. I would like to invite her to the podium.
Don't block my
I'll take our citation. Please, we don't want too many people on the stage. Maybe after, please. Elizabeth Damilola was born in Ondo West Local Government area, to the family of senior evangelist and Mrs. Adeyeye Moshi. She attended All Saints Primary School, Ondo, for her elementary education and proceeded to St. Louis Secondary School, Ondo, for her secondary education, while bachelor's degree at the University of Eghagha. Her interest in technology motivated her to obtain a master's degree in education technology at Berkeley University, Minnesota, United States of America, while she obtained a PhD degree in educational leadership and administration from Atlantic International University, United States of America. She is an education provider who, in a bid to offer 21st century education to students, created a technology-infused educational environment. She inspires and motivates her team towards ensuring that all the students turn out well, morally and academically, in order to make positive impact in the society. She is a member of many professional bodies, including NIEPA, National Board for Professional Training Standards USA, International Society for Technology and Innovation USA, Institute of Industrialists and Corporate Administrators Nigeria, and International Chartered Management Institute UK, International Leading Association, United States of America. She has also been decorated with several national and international honors and awards, some of which are Female Icon of Education and Philanthropy by the Ondo State Government, Africa Outstanding Leader Award presented at the Second Africa Education Summit held at the United Kingdom, Distinguished Alumni Award by the University of Ibadan Alumni Association Ondo State Branch, Award of Education and Administrative Excellence by NIEPA, Entrepreneur of Distinction by Ondo State Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, and Excellence Performance Award by National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools. She is a philanthropist and actress of the street initiative focuses on out-of-school children. This initiative ensures that such children are taken from the street and settled in schools, where our M-Place Jewels Education Foundation caters for indigent tertiary institution students. She was appointed by the government of Ondo State alongside other members of the society as a traffic mayor. Pastor Dr. Damilola Oshi is a minister of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ and the proprietress of Place International Nursery and Primary School and M-Place College in Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Damilola Oshi for the Registry Award as I invite our Vice Chancellor to do the presentation. I am honored. I believe this is a well-deserved award for you, ma'am. From the Federal University of Technology and the Registry, we want to present this award of exemplary entrepreneur to you, Pastor Dr. Damilola Oshi, providers, manuscripts, and English College. Thank you, ma'am. This is a recognition of your outstanding contribution to national development and advancement of education. Many people here can relate to you. Either our children have passed through your school or are still passing through your school. Thank you, ma'am, for all you do for us. next person for the award is Mr. Bankole Desmond Eghagha. I would like to invite the representative of Mr. Bankole Desmond Eghagha. As I invite Professor Eghagha to present the award. I read this myself.
It is a privilege for me to present this award on behalf of the Registry, Eghagha University of Technology and Trade, for your exemplary entrepreneurial award to Mr. Bankole Desmond Eghagha. So, the Chairman and Managing Director of Royal Board Hotel, congratulations.
The next award goes to Professor Francis Eghagha, the Vice Chancellor, Marcus University. I will invite Chidilo Pade to read his citation while I invite Professor Eghagha to please step forward.
Professor Francis Eghagha is an erudite scholar, registered animal sciences, prolific researcher, and seasoned university administrator with over 3 decades of experience in the Nigerian university system. His academic brilliance has been recognized through numerous awards, including the Amino Acid-related Research Prize by Alchemics Canada and the prestigious Alexander von Humboldt Research Fellowship in Germany. He is currently the Vice Chancellor of McPherson University, Ogun State, where he has transformed the institution into a model citadel of learning. Under his leadership, the university has witnessed remarkable transformation in enrollment and infrastructural development. In 2025, he was celebrated with the Integrity in Leadership Award by the Guardian newspaper and the Meritorious Award for Human Capacity Development by McPherson University. A devout Christian and member of the Foursquare Gospel Church, Akure District, he is happily married to Mrs. Omonara Eghagha, and the union is blessed with promising children. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Professor Francis Eghagha for the Registry Award of Excellence.
As I invite Dr. Oluride Oguruku to please present the award.
It's a distinct honor to present to Prof. this award. One thing that was not mentioned was that we were one of the first set of students into FUTA in 1982. Now, the Vice Chancellor of Master's University. The Registry Federal University Eghagha Appreciation Award presented to Professor Francis Eghagha, Vice Chancellor, Master's University, in recognition of capacity development opportunities provided to staff of FUTA Registry. Today, 16 July 2026. Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir. For the next award, I would like to invite the woman that delivered the 202nd inaugural lecture just last week, Tuesday. This week, Tuesday, and our former registrar, Professor for the award. And I will invite my sister, Norma Irene, to read her citation.
It's off. It's off.
A highly learned leader in the Nigerian tertiary education ecosystem, was born 6 decades ago in Eghagha State, formerly Ondo State. She had a secondary education at Eghagha College and obtained her Bachelor of Education in English Language from the University of Benin, Master of Public Administration and Master of Philosophy from Obafemi University, as well as a PhD in Management Science from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in 2000. Her career as a university administrator started on 1st April 1992 as an Administrative Officer 1, and traversed the entire system, served commendably, culminating in her appointment as Deputy Registrar on the 1st of November 2005. Based on her experience, meritorious service, and reliability, she was appointed Registrar and Secretary Council of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, on 1st June 2011, and served out as statutory term in May 2017. She served the University's administrative machinery through intricate institutional changes with remarkable resilience and professionalism. As the custodian of the university's record and regulations, she played a fundamental role in executing policy, preserving institutional autonomy, and maintaining stability across the university campus. Beyond her administrative milestones, Professor Ajayi remains a prolific researcher and a dedicated mentor to both undergraduate and postgraduate scholars. She has contributed significantly to global academic literature with numerous peer-reviewed publications analyzing employee performance, leadership style, and consumer protection in contemporary Nigeria. Today, her enduring impact at FUTA continues to be felt through administrative standards she has established and the generations of project management professionals she continues to
Congratulations.
Congratulations, ma'am. The next award goes to the former registrar, University of Benin, Mr. Eghagha Bobola. I request that you step forward to the podium. While I invite Mrs. Omare, administrative prowess has been proven severally, given that he has been found appointable as substantive registrar 3 times as follows: Pioneer Registrar Mountain Top University, Ogun State, Registrar Federal Polytechnic in Oluju, Ondo State, and Registrar of the University of Benin, Benin City from April 2021 to today. Mr. Bobola is an active member of the Association of Registrars of Nigerian Universities. He was duly elected and diligently served as the National Vice Chairman of the Association from 2022 to 2024. He belongs to several administrative and professional bodies such as Fellow, Chartered Institute of Public Management, Fellow, Institute of Corporate Administrators of Nigeria, Member, Institute of Personal Assistants of Nigeria, and Member, National Institute of Management, NRM. Mr. Bobola is married and the marriage is blessed with children. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me as I invite Mr. Willie Atoye to present this prestigious Registry Annual Lecture Award to Mr. Adebola Abimbola Bobola.
My son, receiving this immediate award this afternoon in the online time. I'm very grateful seeing these people growing up and partaking us. That is where the ones going behind us to partake us. Congratulations on behalf of the Registry and my family. I wanted to my son, Adebola, as a water ambassador our registry. I pray we are going to. Congratulations.
Spread out. Spread out. Spread out.
The next award goes to the immediate past registrar of Ekiti State University, EXU, Mr. Joseph Ife Oluwole. I would invite Mrs. Oyedepo to take this citation. Ife Oluwole.
Citation of Mr. Ife Oluwole. Mr. Joseph Ife Oluwole is a distinguished professional university administrator whose career aligns a deep commitment to institutional governance, operational excellence, and leadership across the Nigerian tertiary education sector, renowned for its analytical and strategic approach to institutional management. A recent completed highly successful statutory tenure as the sixth substantive registrar and secretary to the Governing Council of Ekiti State University, EXU. On 10th May 2026, he became the first alumnus of the university to be appointed. Over the years, his contribution to higher education governance has extended nationwide, notably serving as the chairman of the prestigious Association of Registrars of Nigerian Universities. Born in Ighagha, Ekiti State, some 6 decades ago, Mr. Oluwole laid a robust academic foundation before entering public service. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy from Ondo State University at Ekiti in 1992, followed by a Master of Public Administration from the same university in 2008. Broadening his expertise in governance and corporate harmony, he obtained a Master of Science in Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution from the National Open University of Nigeria, now
student affairs, council affairs, records and examinations, Semicon, and the Vice Chancellor's office. Through exceptional dedication and mastery of the university rules, he rose to the rank of Deputy Registrar on 1st August 2012 and served in distinction as the Acting Director, Directorate of Establishment and Human Resource, FUTA, a role that positioned him as a prime candidate for top-tier institutional leadership. In May 2021, his competence was officially rewarded with appointment as the Registrar of Eghagha State University at Registry, where he spearheaded far-reaching administrative transformations. Beyond his administrative restructuring, Mr. Oluwole cemented his institutional legacy by establishing 2 academic endowment prizes in the Department of Philosophy to immortalize the values of scholarship and integrity, exemplified by state mother, Mrs. Emily Oluwole, and his wife, Mrs. Victoria Omoshola Oluwole. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me to present the award to Mr. Ife Oluwole as I invite our registrar, Mr. Charles Adele, to present the award.
The Registry Federal Institute of Technology and on this day presents award worthy Ambassador of FUTA Registry Award to Mr. Ife Oluwole, FNI Registrar, Eghagha State University from 2021 to 2026 in recognition of your outstanding contribution to national development through administration of university registry. This very day, Thursday, 16 July 2026. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Dr. Mrs. Ocean for response on behalf of the awardees. But while we are waiting for her, I would like to invite all serving registrars that are there to please step forward to the podium. All serving registrars that are here from sister universities to step forward to the podium to take a group photograph with our Vice Chancellor and our registrar. All serving registrars, please. Our registrar. Thank you. Okay. See how she's raising her hand. You can get a copy from her. Now I will invite Dr. Mrs. Oshun to respond on behalf of the awardees.
The chairman of this special occasion, the National Assembly of Ghana, Professor Adeni the Registry, and our eminent guest lecturer, Professor Prof. Eghagha. The most high God, the praise for the preparations and conclusion of the 15th Registry annual lecture. By the mercies of the Lord, no member of the Registry annual lecture is missing, and by His grace, our little efforts have been able to hear the glorious outcome. On a day like this, we always call to remembrance the efforts of our past leaders of the Registry, especially the pioneer of the honorable engagement, the late Dr. Mrs. Eghagha, and all our successors who diligently sustained the engagement initiative, the special appointment of the efforts of the incumbent registrar, Mr. Charles Eghagha. The Random team is greatly indebted to you, sir, for your invaluable support. Very special thanks go to the leader of our university, our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Adeni FBS, for always standing at the Registry. We appreciate very deeply the enabling presence and stimulating presentation of our esteemed guest lecturer, Professor Prof. Eghagha. Thank you, sir, for making our day. We remain eternally grateful to the awardees of today who provided the shoulders for honor and the entire Registry to lean on. Our appreciation goes to Honorable Dr. Akindele, Pastor Dr. Damilola Oshun, Mr. Bankole Desmond, Professor Francis Eghagha, Professor Mrs. Moluka Olayinka Ajayi, Mr. Ademola Adibola Bobola, and Mr. Ifeoluwole. We are immensely grateful for your encouragement and support through the goodwill messages from your families, friends, and well-wishers, and most importantly, for your divine presence, despite your very busy schedule. We cannot thank you enough. Once we not enough, to thank the staff of the Registry for the time, talent, and treasure you expended into making today's event possible. You have worked on and worked your heart. You have been fantastic. There is very little or nothing without your commitment. On behalf of the registrar, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
To all our colleagues from sister tertiary institutions, I thank you most immensely for making our day, and I wish you very safe journey to your respective destinations. I pray that the gracious God will always give us great moments to share. By the grace of God, we shall be together again for the 16th Register Annual Election in 2027. Once again, I thank you all and wish you abundance of God's blessings. Don't leave Register FUTA. Don't leave Federal University of Technology and Prayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Having come to the end of the 15th Registry Annual Lecture of the Federal University of Technology and Prayer, I humbly request that we rise first for FUTA anthem and then the national anthem.
Amen.